What's up, ladies and gentle folks? We're back with episode 10. It's been a minute, but you already know the name, the brUTherhood, with my guy, DJ Augustin and Nick Shuley. What's up, fellas? How's it been going on?
What's up, man?
Everything good over here.
Everything good. Everything's been slow. Last night of the NBA All-Star weekend, for myself, I go back to work. Been off 6 days. Got my daughter in town. It's been cool, just chilling at the house. I didn't go on vacation, didn't go to the beach, didn't go snowing. Just stay home for once on the couch and just chill with the family and the wife. So it's been kind of relaxed, getting ready to go back to work and rev it back up. 28 more games left in the season for us. So,
hey, Roy, let me ask you, bro, what you thought about the All-Star game? Did you watch it?
Definitely didn't watch it. Haven't watched it in a couple of years. Just all these different antics, trying to make it better. Having a draft and, opposite teams, the East and the West mixed in together. And now you just got the East and the West. I didn't watch it. I saw that they scored 200 points, 205 points or 7 points for the East. And for me, it's not really a game. It's more like just guys just go out there and, go through the motions. It's a little bit different. I was watching it back in the 90s. It was really competitive. I don't know if you can have any incentives with money. These guys make millions of dollars, so the money is not the incentive. I don't know what will get them, to kind of compete. I get it, guys don't want to get hurt and things of that nature, but to me, it's not fun to watch anymore.
Right. From
growing up, just the competitive nature is out of the All-Star game. So,
what would you do to fix it, Roy?
I don't know if you can fix it. I don't know how to fix it. I don't have any solutions. They try to go back to, the original All-Star game. I kind of like the Elam ending where they did that, and they do it in the Rising Star game. But, having a goal to expire for in the All-Star game might be a little bit different. I don't know. Maybe you add on some more guys and just have a bigger pool, because you got a lot of these older NBA All-Stars, and they've been in the game 10, 11 times, 8 times, and maybe if you open it up a couple more spots, it might get more exciting, more competitive. I don't know. I don't have the answers though.
DJ, what do you think?
I mean, for me, growing up, the thing that I loved watching was the dunk contest. And this year, a couple of those guys, I didn't even know who they were. Like, no disrespect, because they're good at what they do, but some of the guys are not even in the actual on a roster, an NBA roster. You know what I'm saying? So it was just, that's my favorite part of the All-Star weekend, and the dunk contest is slowly becoming the worst part to me. I don't know what they do. I don't know if you got to demand the stars, be in
what stars would you want to see in a dunk contest? I mean, for me, like, the kid McClung is pretty explosive. He won it two years in a row.
But that's my thing, though.
Yeah, he's not even on a roster.
He's not even on a roster, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, when did it become? No disrespect to nobody, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's the NBA All-Star Slam Dunk Contest, and with guys that's not on NBA rosters. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I mean. They still affiliates. They went to the G League to go get players, because guys don't want to participate in the dunk contest. I mean, there's no incentives for guys to do anything anymore. The money is sky high, and guys not going to run for a check. So it has to be something different. And I really don't have the answer for you,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't watch the game. I never really watched the game. I really watched the dunk contest, 3-point contest. I don't watch
the game. I watched the 3-point contest. I watched the dunk contest, and then now they have the skill challenge, and now they did something with Sabrina and Steph and things of this nature. It's basically watching me. Like, I just have it on and I'm walking around. I'm really not watching it. Might turn my head a couple times, but
I got
just like I'm programmed.
Yeah, it's kind of gone the way of the NFL too, in a sense. Like it's like pretty soon, like or after a while, nobody wanted to play in that game, and then they just turned it into a flag football game and just kind of made it, like a holiday almost. And yeah, it's just not. I didn't even watch this year. Like I didn't watch any of it, so it's just not. I don't know. It's not must see TV.
No, definitely not.
But let's get to it, fellas. Let's talk about this team. Talk about the Horns and what we're seeing. It's been a minute since we got on here and did this. Obviously, I think we'll skip over some of the in betweens. It's been pretty up and down for this squad, but huge win last night over Kansas State. Like that's a team that's.
Let me talk about my experience going to the Houston game. First of all,
yeah, that's right. You were at it.
At great seats, sat right behind the bench, greeted Rodney Terry, Coach Hafe, everybody on the coaching staff, even Chris Ogden, he's the GM. Saw him, Scott McConnell. These are the guys that, were there when I was playing. I played with Chris Ogden, Coach Terry and Coach Hafe were both my coaches when I was at school. So anyway, it was a great atmosphere, ambiance, TJ Ford there, Kendrick Perkins, Hakeem Olajuwon, Nate Hinton. Everybody was in the house. It was jam-packed. CJ Stroud, my bad. Yeah, big shout out to CJ Stroud, Houston, Texas, quarterback. Awesome year. He was definitely on court side next to Fertitta. We were at the Fertitta Center, and Houston put on a show pretty much from start to finish. We were in the game maybe the first 5 to 7 minutes, and then it was gone. It dissipated. So Tyrese Hunter, he started off kind of strong, had 7 points in probably like the first 5 minutes, but after that, it went left. They were on the boards, out rebounding us, just out toughing us, everything. We turned over the ball, we couldn't score. They just took us out of our game. Any pick and roll, any DHO action, they just blew it up with Max Amos. He wasn't efficient. And on the other side, their two guards were very efficient. The kid I want to believe is Cryer and Shed. 26, I believe, and the other one has 17. That was pretty much half their points. So, I really had a nice appetite at the Texas game, just sitting behind the bench, just the interaction with the players and the coaches and things of that nature. I wish I can get to more games, but my schedule doesn't permit me. And it was definitely disappointing to see our guys go out like that. And I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, I think, it was pretty obvious instantly that they were going to out physical us. We did a lot better job at home against them. But they were just pushing our guys around, and they're a lot tougher than we were.
They're not a big team, though. They don't have any.
They're thick, though. They're football builds on a lot of those guys.
Pause. Come on. I mean, it's that being tough is a mindset, too. Like, that's a mindset. DJ could talk about that. Like, those guys came in there like, yo, you coming into our gym, we not having it. And that's what it was. They pushed us around from start to finish. And, you're trying to compete for a Big 12, championship, and this is the #1 conference in America. You can't be going into people's houses and getting pushed around. You got to come and sit on somebody's couch or step on somebody's couch and incite the riot. You got to start the fight, not allow them to start the fight. They're in their backyard. So, like I said, I was very disappointed with, that kind of display.
Well, I think they showed why they were a 1 seed. Like DJ, talk about that a little bit, because I think look, you had it too, where you were smaller than a lot of the guys who were guarding you, but you didn't get pushed around, and I think you were an extremely physical point guard. Like, what was that for you? Because you obviously went up against guys in college and in the NBA. Like, how is it that you combated that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just that the mindset, the attitude, just having that chip on your shoulder, that nobody's going to push you around. You just got to be tough, man. You got to be ahead of the game as well. You got to know your scout reports, know what teams are going to try to do to you defensively, so that way you can prepare yourself and, know certain tricks and, or the trade to use against those certain tactics. And then I'm looking at the stats right now. We had 2 guys in double figures in that game. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to cut it. I mean, you need more from the main guys. You need more. Those are my guys, Tyrese and Max and those guys, and they got to be able to bring it every night. Dylan Mitchell, 3 points. Like, it can't just fall on Disu.
He didn't even play the second half, pretty much.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It can't fall on Disu, and we got 2 guys in double figures. That's not going to cut it against any team, not just a good team like U of H.
Yeah, you at least gotta have 3 guys in double figures, and then somebody has to be an X factor off the bench. And like I said, I'm pushing for Chris Johnson always and forever, and you can inject him in games like that. He's from Houston. You just gotta use the power of your bench. You keep on doing the same thing, you're gonna live with the same results. So at the end of the day, Chris Johnson's a freshman. He's not really getting much time this year. Like, you got to inject some confidence into this kid. I keep on saying this, but it's a fact. Now you're going to have this number 2 freshman coming in the, next year, and he's going to start right away. He's going to play through his mistakes. We definitely need him. He's a point guard, but at the same time, you got somebody sitting on your bench comparable to like a Cam Thomas, where you can throw him in a game and he can score for you. He can do certain things. You got to be able to utilize that weapon, and it has yet to be used. It's sitting right on your bench.
Yeah, and I think it's been interesting to watch like what Rodney's been trying to do with the rotation. Obviously, Kendall Weaver's worked his way in the mix, and deservedly so. Like that kid is what's that?
He starts.
Yeah, and that's what I mean, though, is he went from being kind of the spark plug guy, and I think that's kind of what they'd rather he'd be, but now he's playing significant minutes, and he's honestly been the biggest difference in the team since he started to take over. Although it's been really interesting because our lineup keeps minimizing. Like, we keep getting smaller and smaller in how many guys. We had one game where we basically played 6 guys. Or in most games we're down to 8 guys. And so it's, we're not finding that depth that I think we thought we'd had. We're not getting the production from some of the guys that I think we thought we would. And I think that's been a big issue. And we talked about this about a month ago about this team hopefully finding its identity as we hit, the Big 12 play, et cetera. And I still don't know what this team is.
No identity. Your rotation gets shorter. You're playing a playoff rotation right now, but this ain't NBA basketball. You're playing 6 guys. That's desperation and trying to win. You're gonna wear your guys out, by the tournament time, by the conference championship time. It's coming up now, and we talk about the identity crisis. Yeah, we're suffering from an identity crisis right now. These guys don't know who they are. They don't know what they're playing for. They don't know, what the pillars of their culture is about. Because they're not. What are they playing for? If you getting pushed around and you getting punked, at the end of the day, you got to switch. You got to turn the switch on. And I don't think the switch is there. It's kind of too late. We're in February right now. We're a week away from being in March Madness. Yeah. 5 games left. What are we talking about?
And a bumpy road. So next we're this weekend on Saturday we're at number 9 Kansas.
And what are they? Undefeated. Thank you. At home.
At home, yeah. And then after that they go at Tech, who's number 23 in the conference or in the nation. Okay. Then you got a home game against Oklahoma State. It should be a win there.
No gimme games because UCF you thought was a gimme game. Yeah. Texas Tech you thought it was a gimme game.
West Virginia
thought it was a gimme game. We talked about it on the pod about those. We need to have those. Cincinnati, we almost lost that game, so there's no gimme games in the Big 12. Oklahoma State could beat you at home.
Yeah, and you look at that. If we take care of business against West Virginia, we take care of business against who am I missing there? Against Central Florida, we're 19-9 right now, and we just need one game to hit 20, and then we're likely in the tournament easily. So
top 9 make the tournament in the Big 12,
most likely, and we're 10 out of 14.
So right now we're in the NIT, the not invited tournament.
Yeah.
How many times you been to the NIT, DJ?
Never.
Exactly.
I mean, then we wrap with Oklahoma at home. So, I mean, I think you've got to realistically find.
You got to get 3 of those games.
I think you got to get 2. I think you got to get to 19 wins. I think you got to, and then hopefully sneak one in the tournament, in the Big 12 tournament. You got to go on the road and beat Tech. You got to win the Oklahoma State game. You got to win Oklahoma at home. Those 3 games you got to have. If you don't go and shake it up at Tech, you're on the bubble right now. I mean, what are you finishing? Are you finishing 500? Yeah, you have 500, right? Yeah. Well, no, because I think we're trying. If we win Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, if those are the only ones, we end up 8-10 in conference, I believe. Yeah. Well, better luck in the SEC. SEC basketball is not as tough as it used to be. I mean, just look at it. Look at the conference. Mm-hmm. Kentucky's not, Rick. Big shout out to Rick Barnes with the other UT, not this UT, but the other UT. He's what? He's the top of the conference. Yeah. Right? Then Kentucky's not even second. What are we talking about? Florida's not a powerhouse. Mississippi State is not a powerhouse. Ole Miss is not a powerhouse. Like, how many Texas A&M is not a powerhouse. How many ranked teams do they have in the SEC? Look that up. That's a great question. I would say 2 or 3. So we have better luck being in the SEC next year. Yeah, let's see. We got Tennessee's number 5. 5. Then you got Alabama number 13. Auburn number 14. Okay. Kentucky number 17. Okay. South Carolina number 20. Florida number 24. So they just jumped in. Yeah, so but talk about the Big 12. Yeah. You got Houston. You got, teams fell off. You got Tech. You got Iowa State. Let's see. You got Baylor. BYU. It's one more. I'm missing
BYU in the Big 12?
Yeah.
What the?
Where you been? Oklahoma still ranked?
No, they dropped out, but they're. So
they have 5 and we have 5, but I get it. We've been beating up on each other. Yeah, they've really been taking care of each other this year. So, yeah, I don't know. Talk DJ about the State game. But at the end of the day, what were you about to say? No, I was going to ask, DJ, what are your thoughts for, what do you do, right? So say you're the coach of this team going into, you got your last 5 games, you got, what did we say? We got 3 of those are ranked, 2 more at home. Like your 2 unranked teams are at home. So that's a little bit of a blessing. What do you do to right the ship and get things on track and get into the tournament?
Right now, Nick, we're in desperation mode. This should have been talked about a long time ago. I know we had a couple episodes when we kept saying, they're going to get it together. They're going to turn it around. And here we are, 5 games left. It's a lot of pressure now. So now it's like we got to win out. We got to win out. And that's a lot of pressure, and that all could have been handled if we'd have did things differently. But we're where we're at now. No need to dwell on the past, just to come together, do what we got to do, because it's all or nothing, at this point, and leave it out there.
Roy, what do you think? You got 5 games left, right? You got 3 ranked teams on the road and two unranked teams at home. What do you do to right this ship? I'm looking at it like a playoff or like a knockout. So, I'm taking it game by game, and that's how I got to approach it. So what we got next, this is like a final game elimination, and I treat it like that. So you kind of allow the desperation meter to kind of go up with these guys and your players, and you kind of form a scenario for them so they really locked in, because it's going to take mental willpower and the physical willpower to get this done, And you got to take it game by game, but you got 5 games to right the ship. And then probably conference. How far can you get in the conference tournament?
that they take that into consideration. And you just gotta stay positive. I know it's been an up and down year. Didn't have Disu for most of the year, trying to gel. But when we talking about gelling in January, that's not it. That ain't it. So no excuses right now. You got to get it done and find a way how to win 3 out of 5 of these games, you know. Perfect scenario, you win 5 out of 5, beat Kansas in Kansas. Anything can happen, but you got to keep the spirits up of your players and stay positive and believe. If they don't feel like you believe, then there's no point of showing up because they're not going to give the effort. So you got to act like we could beat those teams, even if you know you can't really beat those teams at home. So
yeah, Kansas is gonna be rocking. Lawrence's Allen Fieldhouse is gonna be loud on that one, especially because it's the last time we played them.
Yeah, I was up 20 my junior year at Kansas and end up losing because somebody by the name of Nick Collison had 24 points and 23 rebounds to end the game. TJ Ford got hurt, and that 20-point lead went to dust. But it's tough to win in Kansas. You know, they got the bench seating. It's loud. They standing up the whole game. It's rowdy. Like, it's a great college environment. Like, that's probably one of the toughest places to play because they never sit down. They're chanting. If they up by a lot, they're going to chant the Rock, Chalk, Jayhawk, and you know it's Bye Bye Birdie when they sing that. So
who you putting on Dickinson? Do you start Shedrick on him?
Nah, you gonna have to you stay with Disu, and you just white him. You front the post. So they gonna go high low, but you front the post, and if the ball goes in, you just clamp and you just trap them. So like that that's the thing I would take away first. I mean, he's their engine. He's the head of the snake. So take away catches from him, white the post, take the ball out of his hand, double him, make other guys beat you. They're going to still try to get the ball to him, but just front the post the whole game so that now they got the ball over their heads trying to force it. And then if that weak side guy comes in and flash, they got a high low, but I would just try to deny that and just be aggressive, make their guards beat you.
Yeah, and they're beatable at home. I know they haven't lost, but I watched that TCU game when TCU played there, and TCU had them on the ropes, and Kansas caught a couple sweet Allen Fieldhouse calls, and it flipped the game at the end. And Dickinson took a 19-step layup and made it at the end. But
and once the ball goes up, it's game. Anybody can win the game. You feel me? Like that's the mentality that you got to tell your players. Like.
Well, and they're in the tournament. We're fighting for our lives, so we need to play like it now.
Right. We need this game more than they need this game. They're playing for seeding. We're playing to get in.
Yeah.
And then if we get in, what are we, a 11 seed?
Right. Right now we're projected at like an 8 or a 9, which means, you got a tough first round matchup, and then you go against the 1 in the second round. So if you can get past the first round. So we'll see. I mean, this team just needs to get in. This team can beat anybody, but they also kind of play with everybody is the issue.
And these last 5 games going to be a good test, though, too, because if they do pull it out and get 3 out of 5 or just win out going into that first round, they'll be, a little tested. Dangerous. Yeah, they'll be tested going into it instead of comfortable.
Yeah, this is the time to be dangerous. Like, don't be safe, be dangerous. Like, at the same time, if you, like DJ said, if you come in and you win and you have that momentum going into the conference tournament, going into the tournament, you rolling because all you need is what, 6 in a row?
Yep, that's it.
You need 6 to win a national championship.
Man, look, and I think let's be honest, like we need Asmus and Disu scoring, we need Mitchell to do his thing, and we need Tyrese Hunter to be that guy that's hustling all over the place, getting the steals, changing the game. He's got another gear that most people don't have. He and Weaver both do. And I think those are kind of our X factors that if you can get that going, it's huge. But I mean, just that K-State game, we have one guy in double figures, and that's not going to cut it for us. Like we sneaked out of that one with the win, even though we couldn't hit free throws at the end. We just didn't do the things we needed to do, but we still managed to close it out. So I think we got away with one in a sense at the end of that game. We weren't exactly looking strong, but I think you've just got it. One of those guys is going to have to find it. It just can't be Disu, because he's gonna wear down if he keeps having to carry the whole team on his back.
Well, he's doing it, and he missed half the season, so I don't see him slowing down every time. If he doesn't do anything, then we lose by 20. So just think about it. He's been riding the wave. When he plays well, we have a chance. You know, the inconsistency from the other guys having good games to okay games, that's the ebbs and flows that we can't sustain. And that's what happens. Like if Disu gets 15 or 17, who else is picking up the slack? Like, you know, Dylan Mitchell, is it Tyrese Hunter? It's just too much. Like, you expect that from freshmen, not upperclassmen, a junior. You know, he's kind of solidified and he's solid, and he hasn't really been like that. He's been up and down and he's been struggling, and I hope he catches, you know, some kind of flow coming into these last 5 games, just to come in there and kind of be the guy that he was at Iowa State, like just aggressive. And, you know, one thing me analyzing the game is just the guys, they look at the bench too much. Like they look, when they make mistakes or things happen, they look at the bench. Like the coaches can't play for you. Like you're in the game for a reason. So go out there and do what you do and stop looking behind your back. Like, to me, that's the most annoying thing. Like when players look at the coaches, like, bro, just go out there and hoop. Like, stop looking at me. Like, I might make a reaction, but I have no impact on the game. Like, I don't. You do. So, like, stop looking at the coaches. Go out there and play your game and, you know, just be free.
I like that. Well, I think, you know, look, we've got two games together coming up. We got Kansas and Tex, so Saturday and Tuesday. So I think in all reality, we'll probably have a podcast somewhere after that. And then we got Oak State and Baylor March 2nd and March 4th. We'll probably have one after that. And then, you know, I think we're starting to look towards tournament time before the OU game and things like that. So I think let's plan on circling back after this Tech game and get a little update. Hopefully we come in with some momentum, at least get 1 out of 2 in that of those 2 games and see where the team's at that point.
I'm here for it. This is what we here. We here to, you know, support the program, but also talk about the pitfalls too, because with the ups, it comes the down. So, you know, this is dire time right now. The last two weeks, got to get it done. Got to get it done, or it's going to be more heat in the kitchen.
Hey, but this the best time of the year, though, Roy. You know that.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be tuned in, not just on Big 12 basketball. We definitely gonna be tuning in to Rick Barnes to see what they doing over there, because, you know, he got a chance to maybe go for a run and win a national championship, because to me, it's so much parity in college basketball. Anybody can win it this year. Like I said, you need 6 in a row. Somebody gets hot at the right time. Who's the number 1 team? It just fluctuates. And
he's got
Purdue's been the number 1 team, and, you know, Kansas been up there, and like, those guys can go on the first 2 rounds or the first round. It can happen. And depending what your seeding looks like, it's a lot that goes into it. You got to have some luck. Somebody doesn't get hurt, foul trouble. So it's a lot. So I'm definitely, you know, going to see what old Rick Barnes going to do over there at the other UT.
With Dalton Connect, man, that kid can ball.
Yeah, man. And he got some guys on the transfer portal, and they've been balling out. Like, that's a cheat code, man. If you really can, I think it's a crapshoot, because it's all about fit, and you get the right guy into your system, it could take off. You know, you got to take that risk on, all right, I'm going to get this one, and, you know, this guy I only have for 1 year, possibly most of the guys, and see if he can pull it through and, you know, win big for you.
All right, fellas. Well, let's plan on circling back after this Tech game next week, and look forward to it. Thanks for jumping back in.
Yes, sir.
For sure.
All right, we'll see y'all next week, everybody.